Hello guys, do you want to learn how to use a mace in Minecraft but don't know where to start? Well, here's just some basic tips. Alrighty. So, to start, we all know maces can have this thing called windburst. I recommend using windburst 1 or 2. I like to use 2, it's where I find it good. Windburst 3 is kind of just overkill. Put your mace or literally any tool that you want to learn into a good spot on your hotbar. For me, I like to put my mace here. It's just a good spot for me. And then I have a keybind, which switches me to my. I have 4 slots keybinded because that's just what works for me. Alrighty. So basically, and then I take my wind charge and I put it into this keybind. Let me get a target. Alrighty, so there's our target. And we all know how mace works, right? Boom up and hit it, and then it works. So what else can you improve on it? Well, to get more height, if you're using a wind charge, if you do this, you're not going to go very high. But if you jump, that wasn't a good example, but if you jump, it brings you really high. Alrighty. Now that is also a wind charge clutch, but there's another one you can do. Everyone knows the water bucket clutch, or you could use a pearl. I usually keep pearls there because then I can pearl clutch, and I could also, if I get, like, say I'm fighting someone and I get stuck in webs, then you can just, like, pearl out of there. My next thing, there is just the basic slam. You can't really get much better than that if you don't really want to learn how to do it. Otherwise, I should do this. Otherwise, you can take something like a spear, and you can put your spear into your offhand. And if you hold either, I have my mouse keys swapped, so right click breaks and left click is like my use. If you do that, and you have your target, right? If you have your target, say you're up high, right, and you're falling, you can do it. Now that's not a good example because it broke right away, so let me get a better example. All right, so here's our target. You have your target, you come down, you can stab it and then hit it with your mace. Now that is pretty advanced, and it does kind of take time to get down the timing. One thing I do recommend, if you do want to learn it, if you listen, you can hear the stab of the spear, and right on the stab of the spear, you want to hit with the mace. Alrighty. Now, another thing to learn is you can it's pretty complicated, but pretty much the slow version, punch, switch, and then use that, and then go back, punch, switch, and do that. But you want to do it extremely fast. Like, I have the 2 thumb buttons on my mouse, and then I kind of drag and click, drag and click. And you can practice it, and eventually you can get pretty good at it. Now, say you want to actually attack something. Here's my target. Let's get a few more. All right. Now, say I'm attacking, right? Boom. I can do that, hit, boom. Now, sometimes, if you can't do it fast enough, you won't reach your target, but that doesn't matter. Then you can always just hit a normal hit, and then boom. Now, another thing you can do with your spear, sometimes I will have 2 on me, right? 1 in my offhand, 1 in there. Then you can lunge, right? Let's get our targets out. Alrighty, so here's our targets, right? Say you go to attack, you can just go boom. Alright, and that's pretty much the pinnacle of spear macing. Sometimes you can get disorientated while practicing and miss your hits, but most of the time that won't matter because you can just get back up and retry. Now, some other techniques you can learn is you have an axe. I have it set so my keybind for this one is right above my keybind for this one. And I will have my target. I'm using the mod practice bot for this. Alright, that'll summon this guy. And then do it again, it'll run that. And he gives a shield. So what are you going to do with the shield? Shields are a big issue for Mace PvPers. But you can break them with an axe. And then you can just hit them. But what if they're holding their shield, right? You can do this thing called a stun slam. Now, I'm still kind of learning how to use it. Pretty much it's that. Then you can just hit them and boom. It's pretty much hit with the axe and then you want to hit with the mace. Now, one way to do this, if you're up, I learned this from watching a video. If you have your axe, right? Say I do this, I switch to my axe, then start flutter clicking. If you don't know what flutter clicking is it's you take two fingers and you put it on the button you want to click on your mouse and then just click it like really fast, as fast as you can. Now, if you do that, if you break the shield, all right, if you can do that, flutter click and then switch to the mace like this. All right, and that's pretty much stun slamming. A lot of this does take practice to learn. Like, it does take quite a bit of time to really master these. And sometimes, like, even like me, I like to find myself pretty good at mace, but it does take some time to learn those. Like, my newest thing I'm learning is the stun slam. And as you can see, I am not the cleanest at it. But once you have the basics down, it's pretty simple. Now you do want to be careful because you can take quite a bit of damage while practicing. And if you do look into using this style of fighting as a valid way of PvP, you do have to get used to doing it. Basics of how to learn the mace. As soon as you can get down the basics, it becomes pretty easy to keep on in your practicing. Now, you won't automatically be good right off the bat, so you just want to practice makes perfect, as everyone says. So, however it works to help you practice, then do that. You can practice fighting any type of mob. I do recommend practicing against a mob that will attack you if they get the chance, because people will always attack you when they have the chance. So like iron golems are a good one because they have a decently big hitbox, so you can master the basics. Something like this practice bot or mace bot is great for learning your basics for like how to stun slam, because they can hold the shield for you if you don't have a friend that will sacrifice dying a million times. Now it is okay if you miss a shot, like I done a lot this video, but consistency makes the best thing ever. If you can keep constant pressure on your enemy, then they will have to focus more on defending themselves. Now the last thing you can add to the list, just to make yourself that much cooler, get yourself a nuke. Then you can pretend to be Wenbu. Alrighty, that is all. I hope you guys learned at least something from watching this video, and come back later for some other tips. And if you want anything, if you want me to learn anything so I can teach you, I will definitely do that. Now let me know in the comments if you would like to learn how to do any type of PvP tech. I will figure it out, and then I will give you a good little lesson on it. Alrighty, goodbye.